We have all had that experience where a single passing comment ruins an entire day. Your heart races, your jaw tightens, and you spend the next 3 hours replaying the conversation in your head. We often describe this by saying, "They really know how to push my buttons." It's a phrase that implies we are helpless devices, waiting for someone else to dictate our internal state. But other people only have power over your emotions if you leave the wiring exposed. To stop the cycle of reactivity, you have to understand exactly what those buttons are connected to. Today, we're building a 4-step plan to manage these triggers in real time. By the end of this exercise, you'll have a specific, actionable strategy saved to your phone. Open a new note on your phone or grab a piece of paper. Think of the one person in your life who consistently sets you off, and keep their most recent comment in mind. The act of writing down a strategy shifts the focus from their behavior to your own internal response. You are moving from a state of pure reaction to a state of active management. Label this first section Step 1. Visible anger is rarely the actual problem. It's a security guard protecting vulnerable feelings like hurt or fear. On your note, write down the specific action that triggers you. Be objective. Now look beneath that action. If their criticism makes you angry, are you actually feeling a fear that you aren't valued? Next to the trigger, write down that deeper, hidden emotion. Naming the specific vulnerability creates a layer of distance. When you identify the feeling as fear or hurt, the anger no longer has a reason to stay on high alert. Step 2 addresses the physical flood of stress hormones. The moment that trigger hits, your body is flooded with chemicals that prepare you to fight or flee. Biologically, these stress chemicals flush from your system in 90 seconds. If you can simply wait out that window, the physical urge to lash out will naturally dissipate. We often stay angry for hours because we keep replaying the story, which re-triggers the chemical release. It is like a smoke alarm going off because you burned toast. Instead of clearing the air, you keep making more toast. To survive those 90 seconds, practice being a neutral observer of your own body. Notice your heart rate increasing or your chest tightening without trying to change it or act on it. Under Step 2 on your note, write down a simple observation phrase. Instead of "I am angry," use "I notice irritation rising in my chest." Mastering this 90-second gap allows you to move past the biological reflex and regain the ability to choose your next move. Step 3 involves editing the mental narrative. We don't just react to words, we react to our interpretation of those words. If a colleague gives you curt feedback, the story "they want me to fail" leads to defensiveness. The story "they are in a rush" leads to curiosity. View difficult people as personal trainers for your emotional health. When they are rude, they provide the resistance you need to practice staying calm. Write down the negative story you usually tell yourself about your trigger person. Cross it out and replace it with a trainer reframe, such as, "This person is helping me practice my patience." Re-editing the story in your mind shifts the power dynamic. You are no longer a victim of their behavior. You are a student using their behavior to get stronger. Once you have secured your internal calm, Step 4 is deciding what to say out loud. Healthy boundaries are clear definitions of what you will and will not accept. They allow you to protect your emotional energy while still remaining engaged with the other person. For people who vent or complain constantly, copy this response onto your note. "I care about you, but I can only listen to this for 5 minutes unless you want to brainstorm solutions." In situations where an argument is escalating, a strategic retreat is often the most effective choice. This gives your nervous system time to reset so you can think clearly again. Copy this script for when things get heated. "I need to take a break from this conversation. Let's continue when I can respond thoughtfully instead of reactively." Having these scripts ready prevents you from saying things in the heat of the moment that might take weeks of cleanup to repair. Look at the plan you've created. You've identified a hidden emotion, physical observation phrase, narrative reframe, and a clear outward script. You have moved from a reactive state into one where you are the architect of your own experience. Save this note to your favorites. Commit to opening it the very next time you feel that familiar surge of irritation. Practice these techniques consistently. Changes in the brain happen through repetition, so focus on small, successful applications rather than perfect execution. The people we admire for their calm aren't born with a different biology. They have simply practiced these steps until responding thoughtfully becomes their new automatic habit.